Hello and good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Smashi Sports Show. My name is Hisham, and I'm joined today by Abdul Majid.
As usual. No.
As usual, how are you, Majid?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, good.
How was the weekend?
It's okay. It's
And-
okay.
and
Not really, though.
Nothing happened.
Today is the 20th of January on a Monday morning. Uh, last 10 days of the month. Is 2025 already running fast, or?
Yeah, it's actually going very fast. It's been 20 days now. 365 days. It's only 345 left. I'm like, okay.
We have very important events that happened in the last couple of days,
Yeah.
especially kicking off with Al-Wasl versus Al-Sad. It's called the Super Shield Cup.
Yeah.
Um, I think having such a tournament play in Qatar, involving a team from Qatar and a team from UAE,
Yeah.
it was a fantastic game. The game finished 1-0. The goal was scored by Nicolas Jimenez, on the second
Yeah.
half, on the 54 minute. And the celebration of Al-Wasl fans was crazy
Yeah.
after this title. I think it's been so long for them having such an important title that will really
Yeah.
push the team, as they haven't really been performing in the league, ADNOC League, since the beginning of the season. What's your expectations on that?
Yeah, mainly I didn't see the match. Sorry. I didn't see the match. But I saw a few clips on Smashi Sports. If you're not following, follow it. Smashi Sports, every social media channel, wherever you can find them. But the clips and the highlights and the things that I read, it was a good match, I've realized. Al-Saad missed so many opportunities. But I think Al-Wasl, Dubai-based club, winning. Happy. Happy.
Well, technically, I'm saying that this is a very important win because they rank almost the 6th or the 7th place in the league.
Yeah.
But for them having that super Emirati Qatari game, now you see it happening a lot. You having the Egyptian and Saudi
Yeah.
as well, Super Cup. So it's very important tournaments to just have those two
Yeah.
teams play together from those different countries, because different type of football as well.
Yeah.
That also adds on to the level of the players. But them winning this trophy, I think, will push them more after their first 17 games,
Yeah.
being in the 7th place, not even making it to the top 4. That will not allow them to be participating in the Asian Champions League as well.
Yeah.
So I predict it's a very important going for them. It will push them ahead, and hopefully we can see Al-Wasl, have that kind of trophy. Will make a flip around for the season for them, and especially Sad is a very great team.
Yeah.
I think 4 to 5 players are one of the main players from the Qatar national team
Yeah,
as
I
well.
mean,
But as you see, like UAE right now are just won against a Qatari team, and remember in the qualifications, and they played each other recently in the Gulf GCC Cup. So I see UAE is now just getting step ahead, especially in the GCC, on top of Qatar right now, because Qatar has been performing very well after especially the World Cup. But now you have Saudi, UAE, then Qatar, in my perspective. Do you agree with
yeah.
that?
No. I still believe Qatar is a better team and they should be a better team because they've played a World Cup. Those hosted a World Cup.
What do you have for, like, I have so much respect for Qatar, but I'm talking
Yeah.
about facts. When they played for the World Cup qualifications almost a month and a half ago, UAE won here like
Yeah.
4-0, 5-0.
Yeah.
And then in the last tournament that they had, they also drew.
Yeah.
None of them made it to the quarterfinals or the semifinals. And then when you have the Super Cup between UAE and Qatar, Al-Wasl, that has
Yeah.
not been performing very well since the beginning of the season. As I said, 17 games, 19 points, and they're like on the 7th place. They won.
My main point is Qatar still have good players and everything. I think they've lost vision after hosting the World Cup. When they were near,
Why do you think that?
I don't know. Maybe they were just preparing for the World Cup, and after World Cup, they're like, okay, it's done. We're getting travelers now, so we don't need to think about football anymore. So that is why I think the downfall has started. Otherwise, the way you're saying that Saudi, UAE, and then Qatar, I would place them all at the same level. They're not like very differentiable. Maybe there's like
They're
a
similar to
minor
each other a
difference.
bit.
Yeah.
They're a bit similar.
Yeah.
Same style of play,
Yeah.
but in terms of ranking and trophies,
Rankings and everything, but to be honest, they're nearly the same teams. They're in terms of quality, I would rate them at par with each other. It's just the idea of that Saudi now has to host the World Cup, so they will be more football focused. Qatar already hosted it, so they've taken the
privilege
focus
yeah.
or away from football. So it's just like who is hosting. So if UAE someday hosts the World Cup, you'll see UAE rising in the ranks. But on an average, if you see all the wins in, all of them are nearly the same. It's just who plays better on the same day.
I'll tell you, Qatar has always trying to develop the league, getting players
Yeah.
from abroad and manager as well.
Yeah.
But I think Saudi already crossed all.
Yeah.
They crossed leagues in
Yeah.
in Europe. First 6, 7 top leagues in the world.
Yeah.
You'll have
Saudi Pro League
Saudi
now
Pro
in the-
League between them. But what I think is the matter of fact that you taking that step, because I would predict that Qatar, Saudi, UAE were together at the same level,
Yeah.
but then Saudi just jumped
They used
so
NOS.
high.
They're like, okay, nitrous oxide.
Yeah.
We're running away.
Yeah, they use the
No,
cheat
but
code.
still, I still believe Saudi is not that good that we're seeing. Because see, Saudi Pro League is big, but still the Saudi national
not the
team is
national
losing at points. I remember like 1.5 months ago, last year around December, they lost 2-3 matches. They won again. So they're very inconsistent.
And they changed their manager
Yeah, so
recently.
the main idea is if you have such a big league, if your players are playing at such a high quality with such high names, big names, legend Ronaldo and Benzema and all these players, they should be unbeatable by now because it's been 2 seasons since Ronaldo's been there. So
So what you trying to
something
say?
is not clearly working out.
Yeah.
Like it's always like leagues provide the main national team players. The leagues, you pick up the best players from the league and you make a national team. The cohesion is still not there. We're not seeing a very perfect, like exemplary Saudi team.
So what you trying to say?
They should do it.
indirectly, that the growth of the Saudi league that's been happening since the last year, since Ronaldo came in, its main target is just to grab audience around the country, not develop the football industry.
See, my idea is very clear. Okay, you made the league very big. It's nice. It's very marketable. Money starts coming in. But the footballing side should be there as well. The players that we talk about, Garib playing with Ronaldo,
Yeah.
other players, Doseri, all of them, they should be playing better when they come together in the national. Yeah, because you pick the best players out of the
Yeah.
clubs. But they're not doing that. They should be beating everyone like a walk in the park. They should be like 2-3-0. But again, something is happening there which we're not able to see or we're not able to like predict. Soon enough, they should be on that level that they become the unbeatable team in the region. Like Germany, for example, you remember when they won the World Cup, they were like unbeatable.
Yeah, I totally
So
agree.
they have to have that kind of supremacy now. It's about time it should start.
Yeah, I agree. Let's move on to our second story. But before we move on to a second story, let's give a shout out here to our content manager, Natasha, being with us here. in the
Recently
studio.
promoted content manager.
Yeah, give a shout out here in the studio, giving us her support. Our second story for today was Omar Marmoush. It's official now, as he said goodbye to the Frankfurt team. Last game they had against Borussia Dortmund. He's the Egyptian youngster. He played for Frankfurt and now he recently moved to Manchester City. The deal's not officially announced, but
He was
internally between them, the deal.
He's saying buying on the field, so obviously
Yeah,
it is
obviously
a
he's
done
leaving.
deal. Just the like numbers and everything will come out soon.
You can see the full. The full farewell for Marmoush on Smashi Sports Instagram page. It was very emotional. How you see a player that only played for a year and a half in the club, but he made such a great progress with the team. You can see the way he's leaving, as if he's a player that's been there since 5, 6, 7 years before. His emotions. With the fans, the way the fans greeted him before they leave, the players around him showed him love, and him getting emotion, he teared up.
I just saw. I'm just looking at the video. Actually,
he teared up before leaving. I'm not good at goodbyes at all. So yeah.
Yeah. You don't start crying. I guess it's an emotional time. You start with something, and obviously, when you move from a small club to a bigger club, it's not small. Frankfurt is like one of the top 5 clubs in Germany, but still, it's like it's like you live in a small house at the start of your family, then you land a good job, you buy a villa, but that feeling of home you get when you go that old house. So leaving that house is always difficult.
The question was asked here emotionally as a
Yeah.
professional player. Was he crying because he feel like moving to Manchester City is a big dream, or was he crying because he's leaving the club that actually showed him to the world?
Yeah.
Which one do you think it is?
Both, mix of both, to be
Mix of
honest.
both.
Also, it's
No,
when you go to
I think
stadiums.
my perspective. I think
Yeah.
that he's crying because he's leaving the club that actually brought him. Because
Yeah.
he's been fighting in Germany for the last 7 years,
Yeah.
and no one knows anything about him. You
Yeah.
know, so especially the loss by the end of last season and this season specifically, he's been booming. So I think he's crying because those fans, those players, this pitch, this area, all the staff, coaches, these are the people who helped him to reach there. You know.
Yeah, and it's always that. You remember the Iniesta picture where he's sitting on the ground without the
his,
boots?
boots.
Like the most iconic picture in the last decade. Even I think when Messi retires, it won't be that iconic because Iniesta retired right there on that ground and he's sitting without his shoes.
Legend.
So it's that feeling that
It's
now
that
you
my
won't be
time's
playing
over
here
Yeah.
and you won't have the same fans who sing songs for you. When you go to a club and you're there for so long, they always have songs for every player.
Yeah.
So yeah, that feeling, I don't think, and to be honest, sorry, I know you have a very close connection because he's Egyptian, you're Egyptian. But again, I don't think he will get the same kind of love and attention at Manchester City because City already has very well-established
I'll tell you
stars.
something. I'll tell you something.
Maybe he does something miraculous and he gets that.
I'll tell you something. It's not about what kind of attentions we
Yeah.
get. So there's this quote says that the actions of people put their places inside our hearts. So if he from the first like 5-10 games he scored like 7 goals, they'll sing it for him.
Yeah, that see, it's
If
like a
the
miracle.
next 10 games if he doesn't score, they will say, oh, he's a bad transfer.
Yeah,
But then the 10 games after, which is going to be like 30 games, he starts scoring again. That was a good transfer.
Where is he going to play? Like right?
Left winger. Yeah. So I predict that.
So most probably he'll be providing for Haaland.
Yeah,
He'll be providing more. I don't. Do you think he has a good right foot? He can cut in from the left. I haven't seen him
He's
much.
right-footed. He plays on the left side.
Oh, so he is like that cutting in player, right?
Yeah,
so he's like Salah or Mane on the wings,
Based
always
on their
cutting
side.
in.
Yeah, and
Nice.
also if you want the fans, look, the football players are the luckiest humans on earth, apart from like being a movie star or celebrity, because like you make a movie. How many movies do you produce as an actor in your whole career? 50 movies?
100. Long, like
Long, 100?
100, 150 maybe.
150 movie?
Maybe.
That's a lot.
See, Amitabh Bachchan, all these Bollywood stars, they've done that.
All right.
But they do like 10, 20 films.
These players play 60 games
every year.
a season, not even a year. From October till Jan, 60 games.
Yeah.
Every game you get an opportunity for people to see you make something so they can just clap for you before the game ends. So you have a chance every week for you to prove yourself and to be a star. You know, as I said, reaching the top is easy. He went to Manchester City. All right, very good. Very good for you. But what are you going to do there? Can you stay there? Can you make numbers there? Can you grow there? You know? Or are you just going to be a good transfer when they paid 70 million for you? 2 seasons or 3 seasons, then you go transfer for like Burnley or somewhere.
You go anywhere.
You know, because like you've seen great players. You've seen like Hazard going to Real Madrid. Many injuries. People didn't say anything to him. So I think it's based on how the player.
I hate the money moves. Yeah, with Hazard, I guess it was not a money move. It was a mix of both. He went for the money and the glory because he wanted to win a Champions League and all that.
Champions League.
Yeah, but again, it was kind of a money move as well. The best story I have this is for
I think it's his club that
Fernando Torres
look,
going to Chelsea. Money
all right,
move.
no other player. You would tell
Yeah.
him, "Let's go play for Real Madrid," and he would say no.
Yeah, I guess no one will say no to that idea.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
But it is one of the biggest failure stories in the last decade, right? Eden Hazard. He was doing wonders for Chelsea. I remember his goal where he took the ball from defense, dribbled past literally everyone, and scored the goal.
in his prime at Chelsea, he was a very
Yeah.
fantastic player. But also, it's very hard for you
Yeah.
to reach a certain area where you feel like you could have done more.
Yeah.
Emotionally inside, when you feel like you make it, خلاص, you have no any other thing that will
Yeah.
push you up front. But if you have that mentality that you would wake up every day feeling like you need to do more, or you actually didn't do anything,
Yeah.
or you feel like you want to add to what you're done, or actually keep what you have, this is the mentality of the player that
Yeah.
would always reach.
Do you think he will get like pitch time?
Who?
Marmoush.
Obviously.
A lot of it, or like just
Again,
glimpses of him.
your work and effort
Yeah.
will make you be where you meant to be,
Yeah.
even if no one wants you to be there.
And under a manager like Guardiola, which I hate him because I play fantasy, I will always say I play fantasy football a lot. So any player who plays 60 minutes gets 2 points.
Crazy
He'll
transfer.
always
Yeah.
transfer people at the 56th minute, and I'm like, bro, 4 minutes more. I
At
could have
least you
gotten
get the
2
clean
points.
sheet if it's a defender, it depends on
Yeah.
they want 6.
Yeah, so
yes.
with him, I've realized over the years, Guardiola doesn't, he doesn't like, I don't want to say BS, but he doesn't do it. If he puts a player on the field, he's not performing for 15 minutes, he'll just take him off. So with Marmoush, he has a very big challenge in front of him. He has to first adapt to the style of Pep Guardiola, one. Then he has to make his space in a like sky full of stars. Oh, that's a Coldplay reference. So a sky full of stars. He'll have to if not outdo, play at equal with De Bruyne, Kevin De Bruyne, like one of the legends. Haaland, a machine at goal scoring. Pedro, who's playing CDM like for them, defensive midfield?
No one since Rodri's been injured.
Yeah, since Rodri left, they haven't, right? So
I
yeah,
think
he'll
Stones
have to
goes
like
there.
make his space. It's a very big challenge that he's taken.
It's a very big challenge, and I told you it's a
Yeah.
risk of going in January because
Yeah.
you did not have any preseason, especially
Yeah.
City right now. I think in a position or 6th position in
Yeah.
the league. It's a very tough season for City in the last 7-8 years, especially
every
after
up
Pep
has a
Guardiola
down.
came. But I predict if you're ready to take an action, just go for it. He did this. It's a risk. I think he can take accountability for it. Also, you would have an advantage that he came in the mid-season, not from the full
Yes.
season. So there's always advantage and disadvantage. And as I said,
But it's good.
put hard work.
He'll
put
jump in the
effort.
deep end directly
Yeah.
and see what happens.
Put your 100% in, and he's in his best
This
form
match
right
I'll
now.
see.
And also his form right now is his best form. His goals and assists, he's in a top form. So that will give him the ability to be comfortable. Premier League is different, physical is different, fitness is different. It's the Premier League.
Yeah.
It's not like any other league. I understand that other leagues may be very competitive
Yeah.
as well, just like the Saudi League. But the Premier League is always going to be the Premier League. The aggression,
most
the,
physical
the
league.
physical, the rhythm of the game.
Yeah.
No, it's something else. It's the Premier League.
Yeah, someone will break your leg the very first minute you walk onto the pitch.
And
They're
then you look
that.
like you go like what?
Yeah.
yeah, they
Yeah,
would
they're
go
like that.
He would just come shovel you out.
Yeah.
And you go, what? Yeah, yeah. Let's move on to our final headline for today and back to the Saudi League
Yeah.
where Kaio Cesar to Al-Hilal. It's a done deal. The 20 years old Brazilian youngster. He plays for Vitória. Reportedly has been moved to Al-Hilal. It's still not done deal. It's not really announced officially, but they're very close towards him. What do you think of this transfer? Seeing another Brazilian, and also he's a very young. He's in 20 years old, moving to Saudi in this such age. Because such players like this, especially the Brazilians, you see them go to Madrid, Barcelona, just like Neymar, Vinicius, Ronaldinho, etc.
No, I was talking to Aziz, I remember like 2 or 3 shows ago, and we were talking about Neymar, and I was like, there's going to come a time when Saudi Pro League will like move out of signing stars, and they'll start identifying 2 kinds of players. One, very young, the 17, 16, 18-year-olds who they think can become stars, and then the older players who still have like 2 or 3 years left in them. So eventually they will have to move away from stars because a lot of money is involved. So they will have to balance their books and find kids who promise a lot.
I think
and
they're
bring
starting
them.
to have more scouts
Yeah.
right now
Yeah.
in
So scouting network, yeah, we talked about that.
in
So
Brazil,
scouting network
yeah.
is important.
Because also, like, it's very serious because the report also stated that Al-Hilal's president, Fahd bin Nafil, went to Paris to get the final deal done there. And the deal is expected to be made official in upcoming hours, hopefully.
So apparently it's a 10 million euro transfer.
Is he a replacement for Neymar?
No.
Is he a replacement for Neymar? That's my question.
I think just they just want kids now because see, Ronaldo has come. He's your part, my part, Netflix part. He's done that part. Now the main
It's
idea.
time for them to develop on that.
Develop the younger players, find them because as soon as they hit their prime, like at 21, 22, maybe 25, their name becoming big. And to be honest, now Saudi League will also provide players for other leagues because now people have eyes on Saudi Pro League. So if a youngster comes in, performs well for 2 or 3 seasons in a club, now Saudi Pro League will also do transfers to other leagues. So it's like the 5 big leagues of Europe. Players jump from Germany to there to there to
Yeah.
there, La
Yeah.
Liga.
I
So
totally agree
this
with
will
you.
start happen with Saudi Pro League as well. That people will start looking at it, and they're already looking at
And we
it
had a
very
reference
deeply.
last season, the back
Yeah.
right who went to Rome. He's a Saudi local
Yeah.
player, so I see a lot of potential in Saudi. But I would love to see more than getting a Brazilian who's 20 years old is actually having a Saudi local Brazilian coming up to the light. You know, that's the development that you need for the national team, especially when you see the national team now. Like your biggest stars are like 34, 35.
Yeah.
They won't make it to the World Cup that you're planning for right now in the next 10 years. You know,
Yeah.
so.
So yeah. So Saudi will provide local players as well, which are going like they're going in second or third divisions. They're playing there, but now for youngsters who are not getting the attention from like big leagues, they will want to go to Saudi Pro League to prove a point and then jump to other leagues. So it'll be good for Saudi League that they'll have stars come in, potential future stars. They'll play there, develop themselves, and then go out for a good feast and make the clubs some money. Business is also part of sports, and the clubs have to start at some point making money.
I love your
Obviously,
business
6 clubs are under PIF, so PIF doesn't mind. They can splash as much money as you want. But the other clubs who are like down there, they will have to do this. They will have to find stars, make them stars, develop them for over 2-3 years, and sell them. So the business part also has to be done in Saudi Pro League.
Yeah.
Sorry, I always bring the business into
That
it. But yeah,
business
that's
perspective.
important.
That
Yeah.
crazy business perspective.
Yeah.
Thank you, Majid. This is all the news we had for you today. Also, tune in for EDC Round 4. It's happening next Saturday at 2 p.m. We'll be live on Smashi TV. You can also watch all the on-site highlights on Smashi Sports Instagram page, where we have all our journalists there doing takeovers and doing interviews and covering all the event on ground, where you get to get close to your favorite racer and drifter. Also, subscribe to watch the full event. It's going to be happening at 2 p.m. next Saturday. Also, the warm-up for them will be on a Friday.
Yeah.
This is the third round. This is the third round, where we have the fourth round also happening on the 7th of Feb. 2 more rounds remaining. Also, if you missed out on round 2, you can find it on Smashi TV. Always tune in and listen to us on your favorite podcast platform, and Remy, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube Music, and watch the full episode audio video on Smashi TV. You can download Smashi TV across all technological platforms, your iPad, iPhone, Android TV. This was Smashi Sports Show, a Smashi production under the Augustus Media Network podcast. See you on Friday at 11 a.m.
Bye-bye.